So 561 Music now has a hotline. You can call us anytime at 561-203-9122 and ask us any questions you like. Some humorous ones or something about the guests we've had on the show, or questions about gear, or questions about the festival, or anything you like. It's, of course, 561-203-9122. We would love to hear from you. We did a pretty fun little message, so you get to hear that too. Even if you just call up to listen to me and Hector trying to do a good phone message, that's a good enough reason. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you, so please get in touch. Hi guys, I know everyone says this on every YouTube channel, but please, could you like and subscribe to 561 Music Podcast? It's a local music podcast, and all we're trying to do is help local musicians get some exposure. So if you could like it, subscribe it, and also hit the notifications button on the episode, we would really, really appreciate it. And if you're feeling generous, you could subscribe to the Spotify as well. Thank you.
Take it by the scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And how are you doing, Hector?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. We've seen quite a lot of each other this week, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind this week. I feel like I got back from my trip, and then as soon as I got back from my trip, I got sick, and then I finally bounced back on my feet, and we've just been doing like little snippet interviews just back to back and popping them on there for Bumblefest.
Yeah, that's this weekend. It's the 1st and 2nd. So if you're listening to this episode, that means it starts today. So you should get down to Bumblefest and have a good time. So we've just been asking people who wanted to play at the festival, did they want to do a little bit of promo, and then we put together a 5-10 minute little interview, and we've been sticking them online.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so far we've had Sko Godinho.
Yeah.
And we've had Brett
Staska. And Stony Vibes. And then we've got a couple more before the weekend, I believe. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're just going to keep them bubbling along, and it's fun actually, because we've just started this new segment on the podcast called Just Passing Through, which is for touring bands who aren't from the area. And so we've been doing some stuff at my place. And when this came along, I'm glad that we'd already started doing that, because we had a kind of a little bit of a system in place.
Yeah. We had it all worked out already. So it was easy to jump in and just get going, which is good because, like I said, it's just been back to back interviews. So,
for real. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about doing this podcast. You meet so many musicians.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of get to know them too, because you ask kind of probing questions. You end up like, very often you end up friends at the end.
Well, I'll tell you, and you're probably the only one that knows that I know, but apparently my wife planned a surprise party for me while I was gone in Colombia, and then when I got back, as you know, I got sick and the party had to get canceled. She did it for many reasons. First and foremost, I guess, she thinks that I work too hard and that I deserve to party. So yay me.
You do. But you work hard and you definitely deserve a party. You're a good lad. We all wanted to celebrate.
But the big thing for her was that, she's never been able to pull off a surprise party. And then she had this completely like ready to pull off.
Dude, we had it on lock.
It was ready to go. And then I got sick and she had to blow her cover. So
quite honestly, I thought we were all going to take it to our grave, because I didn't want you to be upset, because I know that you would have thought to yourself, "Oh no, add this to the."
For sure.
Like I
did feel bad. I felt really bad, but it is what it is, and we'll reschedule for another day. But the point of the story was that you were talking about how we meet so many people and so many musicians.
Yeah.
5 years ago, if you would have thrown me a party, there would have probably been like 5 people there. She was telling me the guest list was like 50, 60, 70 people or something. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And it's all people that you now know pretty well. It's not just randoms. Totally. It's not just seat fillers.
But a lot of people that I met because of the podcast and because of Killbilly. So basically through music.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this weekend, James and I played, and we played over at O'Shea's and Paddy Mac's. Now, it was pretty cool. It was a little stressful, because we're so used to doing it as that. Luckily, James and I do a duo every 2 weeks over at Square Grouper.
Right. But you don't do it there.
The evening gigs, you got to bring it a bit more.
Yeah.
And so I ended up using an octave pedal to, try and kind of fill out the bottom end and stuff. But it's, you will be happy to hear that many people said that they missed you.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
All the ladies, of course.
Yeah, everyone needs that cello in their lives.
Well, everybody needs the cello. So.
And we've been thinking on the subject, we've been thinking that we should call the tour that we're doing in October the It's Not an Effin' Cello Tour.
Yeah.
So let us know if you think that's a good idea in the comments below, and we can come around to it. But we have Flavor Train with us. We have Nick, Miles, and Charlie. How's it going, guys?
Hey, how you all doing, actually? You know what? We're actually kind of excited to be on here. This is our first time doing a podcast in general, so...
Nice.
You know what? I'm ready. Miles, you ready? Mm-hmm. Charlie, you ready?
Absolutely.
There you go.
All right, man.
This is fantastic. Okay, why don't we start off with a nice, easy one, which is, how'd you come up with the name Flavor Train?
So he came over, right? So me and Miles played in the band before, and we had recently lost our drummer and another member of the band, and he came over for our first little jam, and Guy Fieri was playing in the living room.
That's wild.
And his thing is
Wait. Guy Fieri was not playing in the living room.
He was on the television. Playing on the TV.
I got all excited, man. I thought I was like,
no,
that's
I
pretty
wish.
Cool.
But his slogan is "Take me to Flavor Town."
Sure.
And then it was just kind of we needed a name,
and his mom Alicia just recently given me a gift of trains.
Yeah.
Right,
there
because
you
she brought up that you had like an obsession when you were a little kid with
yeah.
trains.
When I was a
trains as
kid, I
well.
used to play with the little toy trains.
And I forget, I think we all had a wooga, wait a minute, Flavor
Train.
And then we're like, you know what, that's it. I mean, now I'm wearing it on my chest. Hello. Flavor
No,
Train.
it works. And, with your sort of blues influences and stuff, it does, it fits.
It's a good name.
Absolutely.
It's a good name, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Super awesome. So what we do a lot on this podcast is we go around each member and we talk about your musical beginnings, how you got into it, and were your parents supportive and stuff like that, and when did you start music and why did you start music? And I think we will start over here with Nick. How did you end up playing music?
Right. So at around 4.5, I was at this concert with my parents. I mean, I don't remember any of it. I don't even know my last name.
How old were you again?
I was 4.5 about.
Gotcha.
And somebody told my parents that I should be signed up for this music program, what was it called? Suzuki.
Yeah, okay.
Because they saw me vibing on the beat at this concert. And so they're like, you know what? Your child looks gifted. You should actually sign up for my program here at Suzuki. And so I started going to Suzuki, which I was taught piano because, piano, you got to learn piano first because that's the most versatile instrument, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And I still play, but that was when I was about 5 when I started. With that little pipe harmonica thing.
Yeah.
And then I started learning piano, left hand.
The melodica, I think.
Melodica.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's how I started, and then I, still am doing it just like I said. But throughout, I've encountered myself with different instruments because I remember, I would always get bored of the piano. It would sound the same. I always wanted different things.
Sure.
So I started having a baritone saxophone phase, a tenor saxophone phase,
Nice.
a trombone phase, and a bass phase, that upright bass phase, phases of different instruments. And my parents would support me. They would go out and rent these instruments for me. I had a banjo phase. I have a banjo.
Cool. You sound like you got my disease, which is, you play a million instruments.
A disease.
Instrumentitis.
You got to come up with instrumentitis. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always found myself stuck on piano, bass, and drums in terms of, anything but classical, respectfully so. So, yeah, ever since, I would say 2 years ago is when I started getting very serious on drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have drum lessons?
Drum lessons? No, I am self-taught. I am completely
cool.
self-taught. Yes, sir.
And when it comes to the sort of the finer points of technique, where would you say that you have been picking this stuff up? YouTube?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Guys like Chris Coleman, Thomas Pridgeon, Eric Moore, the big cats that do all these chops and stuff.
Do you like the Drumeo?
Oh, yeah, that's how I watched the master classes. They had leave hour and 30-minute long master classes. Dad, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I'll be honest. I stay up very late watching these master classes at night, kind of just because that's when my mind really focuses. In school, I'm like, oh yeah, 1 plus, and at night, that's when I lock in and I remember stuff. So, and I remember what they sound like. I play back 5 seconds ago to see what fill they did, And I kind of just like screen recorded that in my mind for the next day when I jam with these guys. I can put it on the drum set. And then
No, I find that time, it can be good. I don't always remember the stuff I'm watching because I'm kind of half asleep, but there's definitely like watching YouTube. Once my wife goes to sleep, the music YouTube videos are going on the TV.
Right. And you know what doesn't help is Instagram, because it's like instant gratification. Like the clips are short, and it knows what you want to watch.
Yeah.
It knows the drummers. It knows the gear. That's the worst part, buying gear. Now, hold on. But
there's many worse parts. That's just one of them, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh. But no, Instagram, no, that's another one, like little tutorials and whatnot. But I don't pay attention to that. I just love to listen. And then my mind kind of captures its own thing. But that's how I've been for a while now. Music reading wise, I'm not the strongest. But I would say my ears do pick up. I mean, well, there's perfect pitch, which I have, but then also like remembering what just happened, and I can just implement that right on the kit.
Yeah, fantastic. No, that's cool, man. I think the reading side of it can be important, but for a drummer in a rock and blues band, it's not crucial, is it? You know what I mean? You can get by just fine without reading.
Heck, I was in a top-notch jazz band last year. We have 3 jazz bands in our school: J3, J2, and then there's the top band J1.
Right.
That looked like the middle finger. Guys, that's my 4th finger. So there would be a lot of music that you would need to read to your left-hand side, and I actually got away without reading almost any of it. To the concerts, I brought nothing, and I mean, I'm just going off what people would say. I would do the job very well done.
Nice.
So in terms of drums, I would say reading, honestly, in general, is like kind of like lenient.
I think it can be useful for teaching sometimes if you're worried that they won't remember what you did. You know what I mean? Stuff
totally.
like that.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to figure out a drum part or something like that, I'm not writing it down. I know some people are. Ryan, the drum teacher here, he likes to write stuff down. He's very good at it. But I think it just ends up, whatever you're used to, whatever you kind of warm to in that regard.
There's always technical people that choose to write things down, and then there's people that have ears.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that grow up in church, they use ears. Like Jacoby this year, we have a new bassist. He likes to use his ears a lot, and he picks up everything on the spot. You
know what, though? Some people have both. And those are the people I hate.
I hate them. I was about to say I hate those people too. They're like robots. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, totally.
Teach me.
All right, Mars. How did you find yourself getting into music?
So I found guitars laying around in my dad's living room.
Living room.
And I wanted to know what it was, and
how old are you at this point?
I was about 3.
Okay.
3.5. And basically I asked him what it was, and he said it was guitar. And there were 2 different ones there. There was the acoustic one and the electric one. I didn't know what the electric one was called.
Yeah.
So I just called it the flat guitar because it was flatter.
And it's accurate.
I was going to say, that's fair.
So jump back a few years. If
you jump back a few years from 3, that makes you 0.
Oh yeah.
Jump forward.
Jump forward a few years.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm tired.
It's all
jump
good,
forward
man.
a few years.
Yeah.
And I asked my parents for I got my first guitar.
Nice. What was it?
It was a red Squire Stratocaster.
Okay, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, my brother is in the process of buying me a Squire Strat, and I couldn't be happier about it. I left my guitar with him, and something happened to it, so he's getting me a new one. I'm just about to get a new Strat, so that's fun. But, so what happened after that? Like, how did you end up getting into your sort of lap steel, pedal steel type arena?
So I saw a video of Robert Randolph.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how I found Robert Randolph, but I don't remember. But I saw Robert Randolph, and I'm like, I want to play that instrument, and it happened to be the instrument that was $3,000.
It always is.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into the lap steel, which was a little less expensive.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And I got a starter one, a Rogue.
Okay.
And
I mean, that's all you
Yeah.
know to get going on. It's like nice, expensive instruments are all well and good, but you can make anything sound good if you know
Yeah,
how to
if you
play
know,
it. You
yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. So then when it came to the so do you now own a pedal steel?
Hmm.
Yeah, cool.
I own an MSA Sidekick.
Oh, cool. All right, I think we're going to get a bit more into that later. But
But anyway.
what were some of your influences in terms of
Well-
like wanting to learn how to play this stuff?
Well, like I said, Robert Randolph, and
Yeah.
once I get more into it, then I saw a guy named Roosevelt Collier. It just came up on my. Actually, no, my mom found him
Oh, nice.
on I forget. Also Darrell Randolph.
There's this
I
guy.
see.
He's not necessarily like the last word in lap steel at all. But I always thought it was cool when Ben Harper would play it. You know, he does a great version of Voodoo Child. Have you heard
Yeah.
that?
Mhm.
Yeah. I went to see him live years ago when I was your age. And he just slayed that tune, man. That thing's called like something like a Weissenberger or something like that.
That's
That's like a German.
Asher,
name.
I think.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think. Well, one of his lap steels is Asher.
Gotcha.
Then there's a Duesenberg. and-
Duesenberg is the one I was
Duesenberg,
thinking
that's
of.
a German name.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I always thought it was super cool. And I just love, you know, dobro, lap steel, pedal steel in general, you know, Jerry Reed, people like
Ooh,
that.
dobro. Imagine we incorporate that.
Mm.
Dobro.
cool.
Oh, that's another topic.
It's like an acoustic
Excuse me.
lap steel.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, when I
Exactly.
moved here, I found this pub called Rudy's.
Yeah.
That they were looking at me funny because I was like, I was
6 years old.
I was 6 or 7 at the time, and I was
Yeah.
walking into a bar. So
Yeah.
so the owner asked if I would play it, and I said yeah. And they were at the time they were doing Pickers in the Round,
Right.
which was they would sit in a circle,
Like a bluegrass.
and they still
type
do
thing.
this. They sit in a circle with chairs, and they would have their instruments, and they would choose songs to play.
Sure.
So there was this one guy that had a dobro,
Yeah.
and he was really nice. And he asked if I played, and I said yes. And he even showed me a new tuning.
Nice.
So
It was like Open G or something like that.
yeah, it was Open G.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's how I started. That I've never played a dobro since, but
A lot of dobros are in Open G is because it works really well for the bluegrass stuff and also like a lot of blues, you know, like, you know, so like rolling and tumbling or something like that. You know, quite often played in Open G.
Banjos
noise.
are in Open G, aren't they?
Yeah.
Banjos? Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, they are, yeah. All right, Charlie, how did you get into music, mate?
So similar to Miles, as a kid, my dad also played, and there was always guitars around the house, and I would always, you know, he plays, but he's not, you know, he plays for fun.
Yeah, sure.
And I'd pick the guitar up and I'd beat on it, and I enjoyed it, but I sucked. I was like 4 years old. That's what I did.
Sure, yeah. But it's a great way to, you know, I think having instruments around the house is really, it and having that just culture at home and in your family, it goes a long way, you know, because you understand what it is, you've played around with it, you get like, you know, with an acoustic guitar in particular, you start to understand viscerally how things make sound, you know,
Absolutely,
stuff like
yeah.
that, yeah.
We still have the same guitar that I used to be on as a kid. So it was a Takamine acoustic, which now thinking back, I don't know why he let a 4-year-old touch it. It's like $1,000 acoustic guitar, but whatever. So in the 3rd grade, he bought me my first acoustic. It was it's like some not name brand thing. Nylon strings, sounds like junk, but I needed something to play. And then he enrolled me in the local music school.
Gotcha.
And I loved to play, and I'd practice, and we'd play the shows, and it was fun. I thought I was pretty good, but you know, as most kids do, it's always competitive. Oh, I'm better than you. Oh, no, you're better than me. Yeah. And one day my dad was like, hey, we should go down to Rudy's and see a show there. There's this kid playing there. You'd probably like him. I was like, oh, okay, sure. So I went down and I walked in the door, and there's this short little kid. He's got sunglasses on inside. It was like 9 o'clock at night. He had sunglasses on inside. And he's playing like I've heard like professionals play, and he's
Sure.
plays like them, and I'm like, whoa. So I watched him play for about an hour and a half. He gets off stage, and I'm like, "Yo, what's your name?" It's Miles.
Yeah.
My name's Miles. I'm in the first grade. He was 2 years younger than me, and I'm legally blind. I was like, huh? What? It blew me away, and I
Yeah,
looked
man.
up to him ever since then.
Cool.
And my dad wanted me to go to the performing arts school, Bach.
Yeah.
So I started playing upright in 4th grade the year after. And then I get into the school after that year. It was the summer after 4th grade, so it was
Okay.
after about a year.
How stressful is the entrance exams for those things?
You got to practice hard if you want to get a high spot. I just barely made it. I was in the lowest orchestra at the lowest position for bass that I
Right.
could be, but I made it.
Yeah, yeah. I've taught many kids who've been trying to get into Bach and Dreyfus, and yeah, you know, it's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. But I think, you know, there's I suppose at the end of the day there has to be a way to figure out who's better and who's worse. But I always feel a little sorry for them, you know,
Yeah.
it's brutal.
Well, because also like competing with the prodigy violinists who have been playing since they were like 2 years old.
Yeah, and that's like all they do all day long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I played guitar. I played upright classical, but I didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And one day, mid 6th grade, somewhere like that, I get a call from him.
Yeah.
It's Miles again. Oh my God, my hero. Hi, Miles. What is it? I need a bass player. Do you play? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I can figure it out.
Yeah.
So we put together a little band, and we played with them for a year and a half.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know, no reason we broke up, just like difference of opinion.
Yeah,
We
it
went our
happens.
separate ways.
And you guys are young too, you know.
Yeah.
Things change when you're that age. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we needed a little band. So he had talked to me, and he was like, hey, I play drums. If you ever need someone, let me know. And
It was more
coincidentally-
like, I heard you made $1,000 on a gig.
Yeah.
Do you need a drummer?
Nick likes money.
Hey, he doesn't.
And I was like, actually, coincidentally, I need one right now. Do you want to? And he was like, yes. So then, Flavor Train.
Flavor Train.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
So I'm going to go round again, starting at this end over here with Nick. But how much would you say you practice these days? Like, is it an important part of what you do?
Yeah. These days, going 2 hours at home every day. And if I get free time at school, as much as I can, that can be like an hour or 45 minutes. During the summer, I would go sometimes 6 hours a day. Practice, a lot of people like to think practice is like this torturing method, metronome, earbuds, and a book. But practice is more like, as a drummer, at least, is just kind of finding out what is your sound.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep copying the other cats. I mean, do like what gets you hired, but at the same time, pop a track on and just do what you want to do. Be responsible with the groove.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. Don't look at me like that. But that's what I would do during the summer and nowadays is just keep it. I mean, I do practice my technique, but practice is essential.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy practice to actually be motivated with your instrument too.
It's true.
Make practice fun.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
No, that's great advice. What about you, Miles? Do you practice a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during the summer,
8, 6.
Mike's
probably about 8 hours.
Okay. So just like basically
8, 9
all day.
hours, and
It's like your
that would
job.
be my pedal steel about the 8 hours, and then I would probably spend like an hour on guitar,
So
Okay.
9.
only like straight fast, trying to get the fast licks. I'm still not perfect at them at all.
No, I got you there, but that's great.
What?
And I feel like with the pedal steel specifically, I mean, it's not an easy instrument to play. You got to put those hours in. You know, you got to do it. Absolutely. What about you, Charlie? You practicing a lot these days?
So I practice, just not as like routinely as these guys do. I practice when I want to. I practice when I want to have fun.
And when's that?
I tell you what,
2 o'clock in the morning for about an hour.
You've got some great role models. So should you ever choose to jump on that train, then you know,
shape it up
how to
On
do
that
it.
flavor train.
Someone gets
There
it.
it is.
That's good.
So, what are some of your favorite gigs? I know you've played at Ground Zero out in Mississippi, and you've played up here at Double Roads. Can you tell us a little bit about Double Roads? How do you feel about Double Roads?
I think all three of us maybe have a different favorite gig, but mine personally, I think we should go around for this one. But
Yeah,
mine
okay,
personally,
yeah.
Double Roads. You know, there was a big crowd there. Every seat was filled up. People were dancing in the front. Also the energy, and this kid, him and I work like a unit. Like we
That's how it
absolutely
should
knew
be,
what's
yeah.
like what's happening ahead of time. Like we know what fill we're gonna do a bar ahead sometimes.
Yeah.
And this kid and I were like locking up on like new things on the spot
Nice.
that night. And this guy was going like off, like holy. Excuse
He
me.
like he'll scare me sometimes because like I'll be like, oh, I think of a fill like while I'm doing the groove, and I'll play the fill, and he got the exact same rhythm in that
Yeah.
moment. We
It's
didn't
like-
even look at each other. I'm looking out at the crowd, and he plays the exact same.
It's
rhythm.
weird, is how
you
that
do that?
happens sometimes when you're
Yeah.
looking with someone like
we
that.
had some sort of Bluetooth that night, but not that. It's just the audience was understanding every little joke, little thing that was going on while we were
Nice.
on stage. The audience was like as if they knew Flavor Train for years, which we've only been a band for what, a year now, a little over.
A little over.
But yeah, definitely Double Roads. Double Roads was my favorite gig by far.
Nice.
Oh,
What
yeah.
about you, Miles? What's your favorite gig you played?
I would say Double Roads as well.
Nice. Shout out to
The,
Vince.
Yeah,
atmosphere,
Vince.
yep.
He's a good lad.
The atmosphere there. Yeah, and I really love the artwork on the
Oh,
over
yeah.
over the table.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
hamburgers were
little
yummy,
table.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their pizza.
The sound is good. That's the thing I like about Double Roads. The sound's
Absolutely.
The
great.
sound guy, what's his name?
No,
Pete. Oh, I forget. The sound guy was so genuine. He cared about every little detail. So that's
Best
the
best
essential
sound guy I've ever had.
Yeah,
the sound
for
game was
sure.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vince did an absolutely amazing job when he put that place together. Like he took everything he learned from the first place and everything he wanted to do that he didn't get a chance to do in the first place, and he did it in this one.
Absolutely.
And man, it is incredible. And like you said, we've played there now with two different sound guys, and
Patrick is one. Is
Patrick.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
both of
Good
them,
one.
have been amazing.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah, just the setup there is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's good sound.
It
There.
really is. It really, really is. Do you have a favorite place you played, Charlie?
So Double Roads is definitely up there. That gig was
Yeah.
like surreal. We were all just like one like thing. Everything we did, you could hear it without even us looking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's probably we played in Ground Zero this summer.
Yeah.
And it's just like so surreal, us being blues musicians playing at like the birthplace of where the blues started.
That's wild.
Um,
So what were you doing out there?
so we went on a little camp, took a road trip. Me and Nick drove there together, 20-something hours in a car by ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two teenagers who have a horrible sense of humor.
Trust me, now I know every little thing about this dude over here. And vice versa.
Likewise.
Road trips, nothing like it. Great
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. So we drove down, took a little pit stop in New Orleans, and then in
Yeah,
Memphis, and then
cool.
we went to Memphis. Not Memphis, Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Right.
And we would take classes there on the blues, and you'd play little jams every night, and it was just an amazing experience because all these legends of Kingfish. Miles, help me.
Oh, another legend, Miles Hoyt.
Yeah,
Bob
Miles,
Margolin.
Hoyt, Bob Margolin,
Bob Stroger.
Bob Stroger.
Bob Stroger wasn't at the
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't at the
the
ending
gig.
show.
Gotcha.
But you just like you can go up and play with these guys.
Victor Wainwright.
Victor Wainwright.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Victor Wainwright.
Branch.
Victor, hi.
Sweet Tea.
Sweet
Cool.
tea.
Wow.
With like these legends who have played with, Bob Margolin's played with Muddy Waters.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we went up one night, and it was us three, and Bob Margolin and Victor Wainwright, and there was one more guy.
That's
I forgot his
crazy.
name.
This is
Yeah,
awesome. What fun.
That's a
Charlie-
crazy,
Yeah.
awesome
Charlie,
experience.
Charlie.
There was a Charlie harmonica player.
I forgot. Charlie, whoever. I forgot his
Gotcha.
name. I'm so sorry.
Ain't no pain. It's difficult to remember all these names.
Right.
But then at the end of the week, you take all the content that you've learned and you put together a little group and you go play at Ground Zero, and it's just every seat in the room is filled, plus about 100 people standing around the sides.
Yeah.
Oh, there was Johnny Bergen as well. The guitar
Yeah,
player.
also Johnny Bergen.
Yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
sounds really cool.
Yeah. And then all the legends that played in there, whether it be Robert Johnson,
Yeah,
Kingfish,
well,
all their startings are at Ground Zero.
You know
Yeah.
what really got me about Ground Zero is recently I saw a video online like with Kingfish. It's got something near 300,000 views on the exact stage we were playing.
Exactly, yeah.
That was like, hold on a second, that is something.
Like we were
Yeah.
standing
Yeah.
on the same ground that he
Yeah.
played on.
Hallowed ground, my friend.
Exactly,
Hallowed
yeah.
ground. I love it.
We went up to Memphis last summer and recorded our last album there, and we did it at Sun Studio. So a little bit of the same surreal experience. Like I'm playing a double bass like in the exact spot that like Elvis Presley and his band was playing,
Yeah.
like exactly where his double bass player was playing, and and he's standing, literally on there's an X marked on the floor with tape where Elvis stood for, and like
That's
he's
crazy.
literally
Like-
standing there recording in the same mic that Elvis recorded in.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
insane.
like all the same ribbon mics and everything. Yeah. So you could feel all the ghosts in the building and stuff. Like you just felt the presence and the the
Yeah.
spirits. It's just it was.
We
pretty
stopped by
intense.
Sun Studios. It's like
Yeah, it's intense.
it's so
man.
like it's almost eerie, but it's like
it's
Yeah.
it's amazing.
to like imagine the people that have like stepped.
Oh, when
in
we
that
were
room.
recording there, it was because they do the tours during the daytime, and then so when we were recording there, we were there at like 6 o'clock at night, and then we would record until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
it was intense.
Prime,
just like the old
prime
guys,
rock
yeah.
and roll ghost
Ghost
hours.
hours. Yeah. But it was
no,
awesome.
It was really
awesome.
cool. I think it's probably important to speak to you, Miles, about like when it comes to the situation with your sight and that you're legally blind. How do you find that affects you on stage?
Well, I don't look at the strings.
Yeah.
Well, I do sometimes. Actually, I can't really see the strings, but
Gotcha.
I sometimes just look down. It's a bad habit that I just
Yeah.
I just
Sure,
look at
yeah.
the screens
Sure.
for some reason.
And there's something about the lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
He
also the
can't have
flash.
Yeah.
Right.
No, part of the reason why I have my head down is because people keep taking pictures in the flash. I need to
Right.
get that sign again. I had a sign, no flash photography, please.
Right. Yeah. Do you find it difficult to communicate with the other players in the band, or have you developed some kind of like sixth sense between you guys now?
Well, there's some points in time where I only have peripheral vision.
Right.
So they either have to make like
Yeah.
really big like
right.
Well, so
Big hand moves.
Big
oftentimes,
gestures.
Miles plays like the best blues solos I've heard from like anybody ever, and he'll go, and me and Nick are just grooving, and we just watch him. And his favorite thing to do is he'll play a line, and then he'll throw his hand up at the end like that. He'll go like this.
Yeah, there
Oh,
you
there
go.
we go.
Yeah, cool. That's so awesome. I love it. I've got to come see you guys play. I've seen some stuff online, but I've really got to see the real thing.
Yeah, you know what? September 1st.
Yeah.
We're at Matthews.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll try and get down. I think
That's in-
we're almost definitely got a gig, but I'll see what I can do. So I think actually now would be a good time to listen to one of your songs. Let's take a short break and put on one of your tracks.
Let's do it.
All that you do. All I want is that the news. That if the news is good, then you just keep on doing me. Until you use it up. My brother sitting right down here and talk to me. And he told me that I'm not let you just walk on me.
Hi, this is Ben from 561 Music. We are a local music podcast that is completely designed to promote and shed light on local music. And if you would like to be a part of that, we're looking for sponsors. So you could have your ads in the episode and in all the show notes, and we will read you bespoke ads, or you can write your own ads yourselves. If you want to find us, you can find us at 561 Music Podcast on the socials, or www.561music.com. We'd love it if you got in touch. Thanks a lot. We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Rd, and it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. And Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root Kava Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. Thanks. So we were just listening to an advert for Live Music Community, which is where we are sat right now. It's a music school. I teach here on Monday through Wednesday. It's open, 5-7 days a week. We're always here. And we like to talk about advice for upcoming musicians. Do you guys have any advice? Why don't we start with you, Nick?
Well,
you guys kind of are upcoming.
That's what I'm about to say. I'm 17, so.
Yeah.
My advice for
musicians in
younglings or musicians in general, if you want to expand or if you want to get better at your craft the way you want to do it, I would say, even though there's authority, I'm not going to say any names, but authority figures, maybe your band director, and he's narrowing you down to one certain style, I would say, don't restrict yourself to that. Because
broaden your horizons almost?
Yes. Expand your vocabulary, mess around, have fun. Because without doing that, then you really don't figure out, what your style is. And you're going to be, kind of confused about, what is it that I want to do in this music video? That's why people, I think, end up getting in this whole, commercial scene where they kind of, try to play every genre.
Right.
Which is all great and all, but once you lock in with your few favorite genres or your actual style with your band, then you kind of start to love what you want to do.
Yeah, then you can start focusing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and also, buy nice gear.
So, Miles, you got any advice for musicians?
Yeah, and also sort of something just for future reference. I know that reading music is great and all, but because I am visually impaired, I don't really need it. For some reason. So use your ear.
Yeah.
And buy nice gear. And
use your ear, buy nice gear.
Mm-hmm.
Rhymes.
Someone write that down.
Yeah.
Use your ear,
slogan.
buy nice gear.
Yeah. Yeah, what about you, Charlie?
Oh.
Got any advice?
Yeah, I've got two things. So one, don't be like me. Practice.
There you go.
Every day, practice. And then another thing, just don't give up. I've been to the lows. It gets hard. You don't make an audition or somebody says you suck. Just don't quit.
When you said
Ever.
I've been to Lowe's, I thought for some reason I thought you meant the hardware store. And I was like, what's Lowe's got to do with anything?
Yeah,
but
as
no,
soon
I totally
He's
agree
also
with
been
that.
to Home Depot, but that's fine.
Yeah. So
Ba, 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 ba.
talking about buying nice gear. Well, you know what? We'll get to that in a second. Before we do that, let's talk about the song that we just listened to. It was a cover of "Use Me," and I think it was a double rose, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that show and that song.
This song, so Flavor Train, our energy, sometimes doesn't 100% match the music we're doing. So sometimes we're doing like very slow. Boom, boom, boom. What was that? That Kingfish song that you?
Love ain't my favorite word.
That song. That's a perfect example of a song that I'm not gonna say doesn't match us, but we are like what we want to do is play fast music. So Use Me is another one of those
Works
kind
good
of like
more live, you know, to get people going.
Yeah.
Use Me more is more of like there's like it's not as like, you know, exciting. It's actually kind of like a sad song. But the hardest part before all three of us is what I realized is that we are a rushing band. We like to go fast.
Sure.
So
It's partially your age, too, I'm
keeping in
sure.
the click with especially me without any monitors and keeping the click right consistently in the middle
Yeah.
the whole time. It's a good feeling. It's kind of like holding back a little bit. It's kind of like you just play, you know, I Got Your Mojo Working, that song. A real
We
fast
rushed on that
song.
one.
Oh boy, a real fast song, and then you kind of get humbled real quick. You kind of like take a chill pill.
Sure.
So you kind of reset. You kind of
And
restart
Use
on that
Me's
song.
got a groove too. It's not.
It
It's
does.
not devoid of groove. It's a funky
Oh,
tune.
it's a funky tune. I'm just saying it kind of humbles you from like all these like active like adrenaline that you just got from the last song, but now you're going to this
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Let's turn it up,
I
yeah.
get in the habit of it. He'll tell me, "Oh my god, you rushed like crazy on that song," and I didn't even realize. I was like, "Mm, I didn't
Yeah.
realize." And you listen back and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, rushing is like it's funny because I don't realize it on the spot. I only look like at one of our videos. I just listen to the beginning, get the click in, and then after that, like I skip towards the end of the video. We're like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, rushing is a little
It's
little
difficult
virus.
not to. I think it's one of the last things that musicians really become good at is that inner clock, that inner tempo. Some people
Yeah,
just
some people
have
just
it.
don't.
Oh
like you
my
just
God.
have the
Yeah,
they
some
have the
just have it.
inners. They can't
but
do
for
it.
someone who doesn't have it, it can often be the last piece of the puzzle to get. You know,
But it's like a muscle. You gotta work at it. You
Yeah,
get
sure.
better.
Exactly.
So you mentioned a click. Are you guys playing to a click live? Or
Not yet.
no?
I'm just
Okay.
saying like an internal click.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, cool. So, all right. So this is the thing that I was alluding to earlier. We're going to take a look at some of your gear. So why don't we bring up the first picture we have? Tell us about this, Miles.
Yeah, so that is that's my lap steel.
It's
That's
super
the guy named Chris Falk guitars, Chris Falk Industrial Guitars. He makes all aluminum guitars.
Nice.
So you could see there aluminum, and the shape that I chose was half of one type of lap steel. Oops, one type of one half of one lap steel and half of another lap steel. So the
I
little
gotcha.
curvy type thing, the zigzaggy part, is the they call it the deco,
Okay.
and the slanted one
Yeah.
is called the rail. So if I would paint something, if I would name it, I would call it the deco rail.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
So,
was
yeah.
was this custom for
Yeah,
you?
this was custom made,
Nice.
and I chose the color, I chose the shape, and I also chose the hole because it's a hollow body.
Mhm.
The hole looks exactly like the
cutout.
guitar.
Yeah, I
so
see
cut
that.
out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I chose the benders so that the benders would be three benders.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's very. I mean, look at that thing. It's a work of art.
That's super heavy too. It's like real.
And there's
loud.
a humbucker that you could switch to make it into. I think a
Single
single
coil.
Yeah, it goes
single
single
coil.
coil.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Nice one. What else have we got? We got quite a lot of different stuff here.
Oh
Let's look
yeah,
at
this is that is not my pedal steel. That's
Okay.
that's my teacher's pedal steel.
Yeah.
He's lending it to me while he's fixing mine.
Gotcha.
So yeah, 4 pedals
Yeah.
and 6 knee levers.
Okay, so
I and I'm
strings.
it's and 10 strings. And then there's a pad. I don't know if you can see it in that picture, but there's a pad so that you could rest your hand, just rest
you can
your
faintly see it on the
Your
other side.
forearms.
yeah, rest your
I
fingers
see the
on it,
pad
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just on the other side of it.
That's
It-
cool.
it
So
kind
for
of-
the uninitiated, because there's a lot of people who won't know, what do
yeah.
the pedals do?
So, the first pedal raises your low B and your high B
Yeah,
to a whole step. So
Yeah.
that would be your C sharp.
yeah.
Your second pedal makes a suspended, so that would make your G sharp an A.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for the sus4, yeah.
And then the third pedal raises your high B and
Yeah.
your high E.
Okay.
And then the fourth pedal, I'm out of breath for some reason.
That's a lot. That's a
Your,
lot.
It's a lot,
your,
man.
your fourth pedal lowers your low B a whole step.
Yeah.
Your G sharp lowers it a whole step,
Wow. Okay.
and it lowers your high B.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
No, that was a great description. And then what with the knee ones? What do they do?
Oh God.
There we
That's-
go.
I
that's
didn't-
a lot.
So
I
it's
didn't
just like
li-
a whole other can of worms.
It's a whole other world.
Right.
It just bends the strings, right?
So basically, yeah, and basically, I just I think so. Yeah, I think I
You got
just
this.
memorized the I can't memorize them
pedals.
all, but
yeah. So the ones
there's
that,
six
the
of 'em.
ones underneath the knee ones are just for bending individual strings. Is that right?
Yeah, they've actually been multiple strings.
Okay. Wow,
yeah.
it's such an interesting instrument. There's so much you can do with it.
Yeah,
And
tune to
I-
E9
I
tuning.
played
and
with the
it's-
pedal steel player about 2 weeks ago, and it was so much fun. It was in Lake Worth for a jam night, and it just adds
Nice.
such a wonderful aspect to the music.
Yeah.
It really does.
We
I
don't
play-
understand that. We leave that to him.
And
Yeah.
I play a certain style of pedal steel. So there's country,
Yeah.
and then there's also sacred steel.
Sacred Steel. That's
Sure,
what
yeah.
And sacred steel, they normally play in the church, but I just saw Robert Randolph playing it. I'm like, you know what? Let's get that.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. And people are like, what church did you come from? And I'm like, I'm Jewish, and I'm like,
That's great. Yeah, the Church of the Blues. There you go.
Church of the Blues.
and to actually tune one of these things
Oh, boy.
to E7th,
Yeah.
you have to get someone that came from the church, because the tuning is used in the church.
Okay.
The sacred tuning is what you're doing.
And that's what I've been doing on this. You could use the E9th tuning for sacred steel,
Yeah.
but the lowest note that you could possibly make is an A.
3.
I think it's an A3.
The same octave as the second string on your guitar, or
Gotcha.
the fifth string on your guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
Yeah.
going on.
The A
one.
string.
Yeah,
that
but that would
Yeah.
be if the A is if you would be pressing the fourth pedal,
Fourth.
Right.
which would be the one.
Miles, man, how do you
the-
know all this stuff? This is so much.
He just got it.
going.
I-
He just got it.
It's
He got
those 8
that dog in
hours
him.
a day. That's
I
how.
spend,
Yeah, there it is.
I
Yeah,
spend
yep.
8 hours a day plucking each string, engaging one knee lever.
Yeah.
And when I get to that one that
So you're,
works,
you're like
so
super
I
buff
just
then, right?
I just figure out like just those certain. It's like
Well, it's all muscle memory, isn't it? Like that's
Yeah.
why
Muscle
practicing
memory,
a lot
yeah.
is so important. You know, like because you just need to get to the point where you're not thinking, oh, now I got to do this. You just do it.
Just get
you know?
connected
Yeah.
to your ex.
and it just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
certain order. It's like choreography with your knees.
Yeah.
Like you're using both feet, you're using both knees on that one, and you're using both hands.
How about your head?
Wow.
Use your head.
And you're using your head to, really, really. You're using your head to,
Operate
Think.
the knees and the
To
hands and the
It's like
feet.
think
Drummer-
your bodily
drummer coordination
functions.
there.
But anyways,
Yeah,
so
it's a cool
it's
instrument. man.
basically a lap steel with rods underneath
Yeah,
connecting the pedals and the knee lever
yeah,
connected to a coffee table.
yeah.
A lap steel that went to school.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
souped up, ultra
It's
complicated
basically
lap
an
steel.
evolved lap steel. So
Yeah.
they started with lap steel,
Yep.
and then as technology improved, then come the foot pedals, and there come
Sure.
the legs and the
Guys, I think Miles really likes the lap steel and the pedal
Yeah.
steel.
yeah, I do. The knee levers.
No,
and-
Miles, it's fascinating, and we're really, really glad and lucky to have you on here talking about it. And I think that just the dedication you show to it and your enthusiasm for it just makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. So, yeah, all right. Let's see what else we got instrument-wise. So these are
Oh,
your
yeah.
pedals, and if we start on the left, Miles, we got a red one there. What's that?
Yeah, the red one is my my reverb. So basically, it's an electro harmonic reverb.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
And it has a really cool sound. My favorite sound is how it makes it sound like a steel drum.
Oh, cool.
If you hold it down and press the all the way up.
Yeah. I kind of know
Make
what
it
you
a-
mean, actually. I have a reverb that does that,
Yeah,
that a little
that,
bit. And you got a phaser there, right? That
and
orange
the phaser,
guy?
the orange one
Yeah. And
is
then in the mid,
the orange one. I think it's a 90 phase 90.
Yeah, classic.
And
Classic.
you don't have to guess which knob. It's just one knob, and that's just.
Yeah, you
it
got to
sounds
love
great.
a phase 90. And then in the middle here, we got this white guy. What's that?
Oh yeah, that's my chorus. So instead of knobs, there's buttons on it.
Interesting.
I don't particularly know why. I'm not a I'm not a pedal steel. I mean pedal. I'm not a pedal engineer.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, they made a. I think it's another electrical harmonic.
You know, that would suit me. If I had more pedals that had buttons rather than knobs, that'd be good because, you know, you're playing and you're kicking the thing around with your feet. Like, the knobs always move. So, you know, I'd actually prefer
Definitely.
to have buttons. So then you got this yellow one. What's
The
that?
yellow one or the gold one, which would be the gold,
The golden
the gold
right?
cello.
Yeah, so this one I've been wanting to ask you about because I've been trying to get my guitar to sound more like a stringed instrument, right? And when I read online, a lot of people say a golden cello can give you this sort of almost a strings effect with the reverb.
I'm sorry.
It actually has a delay effect built into it.
But a
Cool.
guitar is a
And you
string
could
instrument.
turn it into
I was gonna
Sorry, like
say.
a bowed string
Oh
instrument.
yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. So basically, I have no idea.
Right,
But
right.
how I normally just when I play around on my pedal steel, it sounds great.
Yeah.
When I play around on my guitar, it sounds absolutely. Like, I normally just use it for solos when I like do Little Wing or
Yeah, so that's the pedal
Trey,
you use because
yeah.
it sounds like a lot more emotional.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
It
it
sounds
mainly a
sensational.
reverb?
It's kind of a reverb. It has a reverb built into it.
Okay, so it's got a few
I
different
mainly have my reverb always on.
things. Yeah, okay. Does it have gain on it? Does it have
Gain-
gain on it as well? That
Oh,
golden cello?
it's mainly a gain. It's mainly a
Okay.
distortion pedal. It's mainly like that sort of
Interesting.
thing.
But it makes your guitar weep.
It makes
It really does.
makes it cry.
Yeah.
Oh
I
no!
speak.
You know I've got to
It
get
makes
it.
it,
man.
Don't
it
make the
sounds
guitar cry.
really great.
It talks. It talks.
Especially when you hook it into with the wah-wah pedal.
Oh, the wow. Yeah. When you.
I'm getting that
Yes.
pedal tonight.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say Ben's gonna have this pedal tomorrow. Like
Yeah,
we're gonna play tomorrow. He's
Somebody
gonna have
quote
that pedal.
Nick 2023 when you wop wop.
Get that.
And then we got the classic tube screamer on there.
Yep, Tube Screamer,
Yeah.
the Ibanez Tube Screamer that I think it's the model that Stevie Ray Vaughan used.
Yeah, it's weird if there isn't a tube screamer on a board. I mean,
It
they're just
sounds-
everyone has one.
Tremendously well. That's when you're using it on when you're using it on. So sometimes I use solos on it as well.
Yeah.
When I'm doing Stevie Ray Vaughan solos. Yeah, and that's
Cool. And then you got your wah wah
then my
there,
wah
which
wah
is a
pedal,
pretty cool
which is
one.
that's the one I think that Robert Randolph uses
Okay, gotcha.
with the
Is it spring
and
loaded?
then the volume huh?
Is it spring loaded?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, oh.
Nope,
thought it
it's
was.
not. But it does have a booster pedal, a booster thing built
That's
into it.
the little red.
That's the thing on the side there,
I see.
nearest the
So
tube
what-
screamer.
What does
Okay.
it boost? Does it boost the volume or does it boost how much it was?
That boost is that that boosts the that boosts out the volume.
Okay, gotcha.
And then the one nearest the volume pedal is a button for if you want it low like
Is it the mid frequencies?
if it's like if you
I
want
know
it
what
like
you mean.
to
If you want it
quack,
to wah more like wah wah,
like,
rather than wah, wah.
and not
Oh,
wah.
I think
Yeah.
that might be the mid frequency thing. Because
Yeah.
after all, I'm hearing that the wall after all is like a mid pedal, like a mid frequency.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it
wow.
just takes it from all of the
Scoops
frequencies
them
and
in.
then it just rolls them off.
Yeah.
And you
Oh, so it's a
and
mid
it's
scoop.
like and you get Robert Randolph and you see how he gets and you ask how he gets that sound on Voodoo Child and you get one of these and I'm like, that's out.
Yeah,
Man.
exactly.
That's great. And
Some of the most fun I had as a teenager was in my bedroom with a wah wah pedal. I just spent hours and
Definitely.
hours messing around with it.
yeah, definitely.
the quacking.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I prefer that more than the Crybaby. No offense to Crybaby, I love Crybaby, but
What's the
This is
make of
great.
this one? I didn't hear.
huh?
What's the make of this wah wah pedal?
It's
Is it Vox?
it's like Dunlop, I think.
Dunlop, okay.
Something to do with Dunlop.
Okay, cool.
And then the volume pedal, we get to the blast. The guy that gave me the golden cello gave me that, and that came with the pedal steel because I normally use that. And there's this new thing with the pedal steel that you have to wire it differently. So the wah-wah pedal and the volume pedal have to be under the pedal steel. And all those other pedals
Yeah.
have to be on the side next to the chair.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
And
yes,
it can't be with the slide because you have to hold the note when you're pressing the button if you want to to keep them occupied and not just have an off note.
sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
And that just all goes right under your right at your feet underneath where you're playing, right?
Under your left
just
foot.
those two volume pedal and wah-wah pedal.
Okay, gotcha.
And then those, yeah.
Well, let's move this along here. What else we got? So here it is, next
Which
kit.
one's that?
Tell us a little bit about the kit.
So it's a sonar. It's a little bop kit. So when I got this kit, I was still much of a jazz drummer. So
Right.
that's why the size was just small. Snares 13 inches. So it's the floor tom.
You got some interesting symbols going on.
Oh, I'll tell you all about them. But I'll make it quick. Rack tom, 10 inches, 16-inch kick.
Yeah.
So they're small.
I like a 16-inch kick. That's what I have on my drum kit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But yeah, so sonar, because those drums just sing. Those drums are like the sustained pedal of a piano. They just go boom.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those are the sizes. I'm thinking about upgrading to a 7-piece. But anyway,
Right.
just remote coated ambassador heads. There is a rototom to the right of the hi-hat right there. That's a 10-inch, so I have like an extra tom almost kind of thing. Sometimes for some gigs, I bring a full set of 3 rotos along with my drum set, so it eventually does become a 7-piece kit. So if I really want to just get like a bring kind of tom thing going on,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry for my lack of explanation.
That's fine. Is a rototom basically
another
just a
Nick quote.
tom that doesn't have the shell?
That, but the special thing about it is that if you turn it to the right, like a screw, the tension gets higher. So the drum, and if you do it to the left, yeah, and it comes with 3. The set I have is 6-inch rototom, 8-inch, and then 10 inches. So you get 3 different rototoms. Right now I'm using 1.
Cool.
So you'll be seeing this exact setup at Matthews.
Nice.
Right. So let's go to the cymbals.
Yes,
Particularly, people like to use 14-inch hi-hats. I use 15s because they sound fatter.
Sure.
And since we're a 3-piece band, there's some parts of the our songs that kind of sound thin, so I like to like ride and just splash
Sure.
over them
Yeah,
with
I
some
get
like
it.
thick sound.
You got more of like a mid-rangey splash. That
Yeah, and the
fills out
cymbals are mono dark, so they're extra hammered it, and that makes the cymbals just speak a little lower.
Yeah.
To the screen's right, that's a mono 20-inch dual Byzance. I think I use that cymbal as a ride cymbal.
Yeah.
It's a crash and a ride, but I like to ride on it when Miles gets real crazy in his solos, like when he's like doing type
Yeah.
of thing. I use the bell and I just hammer that cymbal like
No.
I'm at an anvil. The cymbal with the holes right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's one of my special ones right there.
Right.
It just cracked. I'm a little heartbroken still. I'm getting over it.
I know that.
But
feels-
it has a trashier sound to it. It's called Zildjian. It's a long name. 19-inch Zildjian K Custom Special Dry Trash Crash. It has the word
Okay.
trash in it because it sounds like a trash lid, like the trash lid.
Yeah.
Little
little
stack.
guy.
The little stack on the bottom. When we were in Memphis, I had to go get something from the Memphis drum shop, very famous drum shop.
Yeah.
And there's also a 10-inch. So the stack is 8 inches, but in the middle, a little Oreo going on. In the middle is a 10-inch trash former from Zildjian that cracked.
Right.
So there's actually 3 cymbals on that stack.
Gotcha.
24-inch ride cymbal,
Yeah.
small bell flat ride. And then here's a special creation we got going on here.
Yeah.
Charlie and I were staying after school, and our faculty was getting rid of cheap old Save Me B8 cymbals. B8 cymbals, if you don't know, are garbage.
Right.
So we were like, why do we even have these? Let's get rid of them. Charlie like, no.
I took my anger out on the BA.
Yeah, I don't know what you had going on. I don't know. Maybe your mom made the wrong dinner or something. But he bent 2 cymbals, a 14-inch and an 18-inch crashes.
No, there
and,
was 3.
Oh, there were 3. There was
a 14, an 18, and I think a 12.
a 16 in the middle.
Okay.
16 in the middle.
Yeah, that's one.
And so
But,
now it's just a kind of like another trash thing. To
I'm seeing a lot of artists use this thing called the clap stack, which
Yeah.
is essentially 3 or more cymbals bent on
Yeah.
top of each other.
Okay.
So we kind of made our own, and it sounds
Yeah,
It sounds
clap
so good.
stacks are really
Sounds killer.
expensive, and that we got for free, and it sounds
it
just
sounds,
like the expensive
and
one
it's
does.
loud.
There you go.
It is loud. Yeah, but if you don't see in the back, I also have all sorts of other cymbals. I'm a cymbal fanatic. Cymbals are like people. Like there's personalities. There's like
Sure.
different sounds. I don't know how to explain it. I just love cymbals.
No, I
but that's
understand what you're saying, man.
that's what I'm using for now. I definitely love to change up my drum set here and there, but that's what's going to be at the show.
My
Nice.
son's a
Sure.
drummer. He plays those Mono Darks. He loves them.
Yeah.
He loves them.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to be getting a direct drive double pedal because this kid over here is like, Nick,
He's
you're going to
fun.
be a monster. And I'm like, you know what? I have money. I can waste it, you know?
There you go.
Double pedal.
All right, so I
What
think we
else
got
we
a picture of some
Ooh.
basses. Tell us a little bit about your basses. there.
So I'll start from the right. No, I'll start from the left.
Okay.
So that's my Fender Jazz Bass, the Jocko edition. So that's fretless.
Cool. Sure, Nick's happy about that.
He is. He told me to get it.
Oh, there you go.
I got that like about a year ago.
What you're talking about? Which bass?
The Jocko. I
Alright.
got it about a year ago. It was like right after I met him.
Right.
The one in the middle is my newest bass. That's a Fender J 1964. I want to
Nice,
say.
Nice.
Where'd you get it?
New
York.
I was in New York. I
Yeah.
forgot what the place was called, but they were great. They cut me a good deal on that. They wanted 1,400, and I talked them down to 1,000.
Oh, there you go.
And then the thing on the right is a Fender P.
Yeah, sure.
And
Which is
then-
your favorite out of those 3?
Oh, that's impossible to pick.
Gotcha.
I love
if you could only take one of them to a gig, what's the most
the
versatile?
middle one, the J bass, because
Yeah.
the J bass you can get the high, boom,
Sure.
and then you can also get like P bass tones
Bridge
on
pickup.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that thing's perfect. And then on the, you can't really see it, but on the left is my amps. For the longest time I just had a Hartkey 112,
Yeah.
and then a different Hartkey head than the one you see on top. But then I recently got a Hartkey 210, so I put them both together with the speaker
Cool.
cables.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, I have to say you guys have got some superior gear,
Right.
and you know how to play it too. I've seen evidence.
Me and
so
Nick
it's-
have a little condition
good
where
gear.
we stay away from Guitar Center because
Tell
you
me
can't
about
go
it.
into the place without buying things.
Tell me about it.
There's a
dude.
story. It goes, I go in Guitar Center with my buddy Brandon. Brandon, if you're watching, hope you're having a good time in college. But he like literally has to tug me away from the cymbal room.
Yeah.
Because what is it, 13 cymbals now? And like a really skinny wallet. So
Yeah,
he's
if
trying
I
to help
walk
me
into
out.
Guitar Center, there is not a chance I'm leaving with nothing. It's never happened.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when we were on the road, we went into one and he played a 6-string Ibanez and I played a 5-string fretless Ibanez, and it was everything to not walk out of that store with the
Yeah.
bass.
Nick, let's get out. Nick, let's get out.
Nick, we gotta go.
Or any music store, really. I mean,
Really,
when
it's
we
like
were-
it's a candy store.
Yeah,
for us.
when we were in Memphis, we went into some like little mom and pop store in like Tupelo or something.
Yeah.
and all of us were like, I think I walked out with a
You
pedal,
walked out with
a
a
tuning
tuning pedal,
pedal.
yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
kid in Memphis, while I was in the drum shop, I got a FaceTime call. I'm like in the snare drum vault, is what they
Yeah,
call it.
I
I'm like,
went-
and here's like this new 5-string Schecter with gold knobs and all
So
this.
we went. He was at the drum store, and I'm not a drummer, so we hung around for a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is cool, but I really quickly got bored because I didn't have anything to do. So we went just down the road to a place called Martin Music.
Yeah.
Great store, cute little thing. I just wanted to play. We didn't have any basses with us. I just wanted to play.
Sure.
And I walked in and I was like, oh, there's nothing in here. And I saw the bass. I was like, oh, it's pretty nice. So I'm picking it up and playing it. And this thing sounds pretty good. Played it. Loved it. Looked at the price tag. It said $400. I'm like, that does
Ah.
not look right. I looked online. This bass is going for like $1,600.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, I don't need another bass, but
$400 is $400. I get.
Right.
yeah. So we called Nick. Like, I did a thing.
And I hung up speechless again.
So
You want a
listen, guys,
symbol.
let's have a look at some of these gigs you got coming up. So as we've been talking about, you have September 1st at Matthews.
Yeah.
What time are you playing?
That is
8 to
7.
11.
No, buddy. It's
Oh,
7
is it 7
to
to
11.
10?
Yeah, 7 to 11.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
a stretch.
It's a good
Oh.
one.
Stretch and a half.
And then September
love long
16th,
gigs.
you're at the Brewhouse Gallery here in Lake Park. Have you
Right.
played there before?
No.
No. You know what? Because every single time before manager Mike gives me the details of the venue, I always look up what the place looks like, and I'm really happy about this one because there's a bunch of art on the wall. I think I've seen a couple of acts.
We've
Shout
been there,
out to
a lot of
Manager
times. You'll have
Mike.
fun there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
We
shout
would
out.
be
spot,
nothing
man.
without
Manager Mike.
Mike.
Shout out to Manager Mike.
Miles' dad.
Manager Mike.
Manager Mike.
And then on October the 8th, you got the Shack Up Inn. You guys ever played there?
Oh, okay. So that's so we did the Pine Top Camp this summer.
Yeah.
So Miles is going up the day before us because we have a jazz concert
Right.
with the school with Jarvis that we couldn't move it unfortunately.
Sure,
He's playing at the King Biscuit Festival,
Right.
which is in Arkansas.
think so.
Planet Earth, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely on
Yeah.
planet Earth.
Yeah, okay.
And then the next day we're going up. it's like the homecoming for Pine Top. So
Right.
like Kingfish will probably be there.
Oh,
all the
nice.
legends.
Yeah, it's in Arkansas.
And you
It's
go
Arkansas.
in and you play. No, that one's in Mississippi.
Oh.
That
yeah.
one's at Pine Top. So
Right.
Oh,
cool.
so okay, we're going back.
yeah.
All right, nice. But yeah, it's up in Arkansas. Now I remember.
And then you
Wait.
got October
No,
19th.
the Biscuit
I'm sorry.
Festival's in Arkansas.
I'm so confused. I got to know my stuff. Hold on. We're going to Mississippi.
We're going to Mississippi. He's going to Arkansas. the
We're
day
going to
before.
Planet Earth.
Yes.
There you go.
Definitely somewhere in the U.S.
All right, October 19th, you're playing with Taz Niederauer over in Stewart up at Terra Firmata, right?
Right.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So, I mean, word on the venue, I mean, like, it's a regular venue. However, my second favorite drummer, which I mentioned him on the cast already, Thomas Pridgeon, he is incredible, and I didn't know that he was a drummer for this Taz guy. Very excited to open for Taz, too, because he sounds a killer on guitar. But Thomas Pridgeon is his drummer, and
Yeah.
I'm more than excited to even, like, see him, maybe pop a picture with him.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
Thomas is a great guy. I've communicated with him via text for advice and whatnot.
Wicked.
Nice.
Yeah,
So-
I don't see any reason why I wouldn't take a picture with you. I mean, it's not like a crazy giant place with a green room or anything. He'll
Yeah,
just be
no.
hanging out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that gig, I'm very excited about seeing Taz, seeing the place for the first time, and meeting Mr. Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it has been an absolute pleasure. I didn't know what to expect for a conversation with you guys because you're younger guys, and and I was kind of going into it like, oh, we'll see how this goes. But you are charming. You know a lot about music,
Yeah.
and I really wish you all the luck in the world. Not that you need it, just keep going, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
keep
Thank
at
you.
it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and thanks for coming on the show. And is there anything we need to say before we get out of here?
No, we want to mention that we're playing at Mango O'Malley's this weekend.
That's right. Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah. And then
You guys have Square Grouper Saturday?
Square Group is Saturday, and then I'm playing at Guanabana
On Sunday.
from 4 to 7. And I've been working pretty hard at my solo set lately, so if you want to come and see me just with an insane pedal board pressing buttons and
You'll be doing like the river dance on the pedal board.
yeah.
Wait, at Loop Station?
Yeah. I've got all sorts of crazy things going on with it. I mean, it's not that you guys wouldn't find it that crazy because you know
Right.
about that stuff.
He would.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's on Sunday from 4 to 7, and yeah. Without further ado, I think we're going to get out of here. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks a lot,
for
guys.
coming
Thank
on.
you.
having
Thank you
us.
so much.
Yeah.
It's great meeting you.
That's a wrap.